Hi Libra, welcome to your February 2025 AstroTarot with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, so whenever I'm talking about astrology, I'm talking about tropical Western whole sign system, for those of you that would like to know. And I also wanted to mention that I'm really grateful that you are here. So thank you so much for continuing to be a part of Reydiant Reality. Please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and this resonates and you want some of that Raffy love, hit your subscribe button. So before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So I'm gonna give these a good shuffle and pop them to the side. So these will be for clarification on your transits, and then this will be for your lunations. Pop those there next to Luna. All right, so the first transit that I want to explore for you on the 7th of March. Also, if I ever forget the dates or the degrees of the transit, please don't panic. You will be able to find that stuff in the description box below. Now, on the 7th of February, Mars is going to exactly trine Saturn. So you'll feel this one coming in. Don't forget, like, it doesn't just happen on the day and then that's it, it's done. Like, you'll feel this transit unfolding, as it were. Now, this is Mars in your career sector, Mars in the 10th house, right? And wherever Mars has been for all of us, it's been going through the process of cleaning house. Right, that's what it's doing in that retrograde. It's helping us cut away, remove, get rid of anything that really is superfluous to who we are or what is really, vital for us to continue. And then you've got, so Mars as well as action, energy, passion, excitation, war, irritation, inflammation, all of those kinds of things. And it's also the scalpel, right? It's the scissors. It's what we remove from our lives. It's how we go through that process of removing what we remove. As if that wasn't enough, Saturn, discipline, energy, determination. Also the power of routine, right, is Saturn as well. This trine, personally, I love this trine because it always, for me, coincides with a really powerful emotional energy that allows me to sort of spur things on. And that's how I see this, right? It's emotional resilience, it's emotional stability and power that is available for us. It's kind of like, like steam powers machinery. This is kind of like an internal steam engine energy, right? So this Saturn energy in your 6th house of daily habits, your work, your routines, your health. Now, that Mars energy has been, the first time that these two connected in this trine was actually around the 11th of October of 2024. What was happening for you around that time in the areas of your work and your career? Mars retrograde has probably been helping you really reflect on your professional ambitions, to really think about your career direction or focus, and maybe even address any of the, the challenges or the challenges in your public life or how you're seen out there in the world. The trine to Saturn is really bringing a steadying, grounded energy that allows you to create a sustainable sense of success or progress in the area of work. Now, you might find that restructuring your daily routines, finding ways to improve your work-life balance supports your long-term career goals, especially if there's something big that you're going for. It's a really good time to focus on discipline, on refining your skills, addressing any habits that might be holding you back. Trust that your adjustments or the adjustments that you're making now are really going to lead to long-term growth and stability, because that's what they're geared towards, right? But you've got to fight for it, right? That's the Queen of Swords. So in some way, shape or form, Libra, you show up in your reading. Queen of Swords is usually an air sign person, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. this is really what we fight for, right? You've got this with the Three of Pentacles, so you've got to fight for the right collaborations and connections, but also for the right knowledge. And then you've got the Fool card, right? So this could potentially see you connecting with new people through and with or around your work. This could be really helpful for you. When it comes to, oh my God, come on brain. When it comes to your Three of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords, this might be fighting for a body of knowledge or work that you've already created or put together. And it's like, I need people to see this. I want people to understand who this is. And, you know, I got to be honest, because that Mars is in the 10th and it's in the trine to Saturn, I do wonder if this is you trying to bypass being the face of what you're trying to create. That's something that only you really can sort of wrestle with, and I would advise you to do so. So as we come into the 9th or 10th of February, depending on where you are in the world, Mercury is going to go Cazimi, right? I love this. I see a Mercury Cazimi as divine inspiration, right? So Mercury for you rules your 12th house and your 9th house. The Sun for you rules your 11th house. So there's a lot to be said here for almost like not just future, well, I mean, definitely future plans, but also how to keep old dreams alive in the present moment and breathe new life into them. Now, the Mercury Cazimi for you, though, is happening in the 5th house, right? So in that 5th house of creativity and self-expression and romance, it's bringing a moment of clarity to maybe some of your self-expression. Maybe it's helping you see like, damn, you know what? My clothes suggest that I, you know, kind of perished in the 1980s and just never moved forward. Or, you know what, actually this business idea that I've got, or this creative thing that I love to do as a hobby, I want to keep it as a hobby. Or maybe, you know what, this personal business that I have, or the brand that I have, it needs a revamp. It needs some love. It needs whatever. If you have children, the transit could also bring important realizations about how to support or connect with them on a deeper level. The day is perfect for exploring and engaging ideas or engaging in activities that bring you joy, right? So that help you really experience joy on a sort of profound, sort of practical level, even though it's Pisces and Aquarius energy. Pay attention to the conversations that you have you know, around all of these things. And also, like, the 5th house tends to be places of competition. So this would be like bingo halls, you know, it could be gyms, it could be dance studios, it can be, you know, stuff like that, things that are pleasurable to do. Listen to the conversations that you're having if you find yourself in any of these places, because they could end up being important to you in some regard. Now for this, you've got the 5 of Cups, so maybe this is an understanding of what you need to let go of or what you need to mourn in order for you to let your bright or brilliant ideas shine. And then you've got this with the 5 of Swords. I mean, it's the 5th house, so you've got 2 5s, you know, and these 2 5s in particular. So you've got the 5 of Swords and the 5 of Cups. Mentally, what do you know you need to release for your ideas to flourish or for your creativity to return? On a mind, that's mentally. On an emotional level, what do you know that you put too much time, energy and stock into and is taking away from, you know, your creative sphere or time, or maybe even a personal business? Now 2 5s represents a vigil, and with the Ace of Wands in tow, I would spend this day with a candle lit and just journal to see what comes up, because you might be very surprised at what does. For the next transit that I want to look at on Valentine's Day, on the 14th of February, Mercury is going to enter Pisces, and it's going to come into your 6th house, right, of your physical health and vitality. It is your work and rest as well, right? But your 6th house is the drudgery. It's the chop wood, carry water house, right? Daily routines, responsibilities. Mercury is okay in the 6th house because it understands this space, but Mercury in Pisces brings a more intuitive, more imaginative approach to problem solving. So it might be that some of the details get a little bit blurred, but it is a great time to reflect on how your habits and your routines align with your physical and mental well-being, or not, as the case might be. Think about communication at work, right? Clarify your messages in order to really think about how you avoid misunderstandings, because it is Mercury in Pisces. The message behind this is, I guess, use your head, not your heart, which is not going to be so easy at this time. It's also a time to think about exploring creative solutions to workplace challenges, or maybe even prioritizing your, prioritizing the tasks and things that are really going to help you in the long run, right? For this, you got the Page of Swords, you've got the Ten of Cups, nice, and the Six of Cups. I think if you take the lead and you're really honest about what you need at this moment in time, you might be pleasantly surprised at how people or persons come forward to support you, or to work, to not just collaborate, but to really have your back, like the Page of Swords as well, especially where you've got things like interviews or meetings in regards to work and or the jobs. This is a really good time for you to think about how maybe, just maybe, the right commitments and connections is actually the way forward. All right, so with that said, on the 23rd of the month, Venus is going to sextile Jupiter, right, across Aries and Gemini. So your 7th house and your 9th house. As if that wasn't enough, Mars is going to trine Mercury across your 10th house and your 6th house. So I wanted to highlight both of these. So it's a lot of information, but I really felt like this was important to highlight because it's all happening on a day, like on one single day. And as if that wasn't enough, it's literally the day before Mars goes retrograde, right? So Venus in Aries slows down. This is you, right? Venus is you. You are in the domain of the other. So it's slowing down to go retrograde. And on this day, she's at the degree that she will turn retrograde on. So in the house of relationships. And it's forming a really nice sextile. Now, sextiles are only opportunities, right? Trines is where it comes to you. It's really easy. Squares is where it's really challenging and it's really hard. A sextile is where effectively the opportunity is there for you. You get the results if you work it. Now, because it's a sextile to Jupiter, the great benefic of the zodiac, in the 9th house of expansion, travel and learning, excuse me, it's highlighting opportunities to deepen your partnerships or attract new connections that expand your worldview in some way. Whether romantic or professional relationships are really taking on a bit more of a dynamic energy at the moment, and things could be moving really fast. Now, that Mars in Cancer energy in your 10th house, trine to Mercury in the 6th, it's asking you to think about like how to bring more flow into the career and the daily responsibilities. Like how much is what you're doing on a daily level actually feeding into what you truly want out of the career, right? Are you actually building that long-term goal that you have on the small sort of microcosmic level? Because that's how it's done, right? Your Apples, your Google, your Samsung, I'm just trying to think of like really big companies, right? Your World Banks, like all of them, they were built brick by brick. Nothing just springs up and is automatically global. It just doesn't work that way. What are you doing on that small daily level, those incremental steps where you dedicate that ounce of sweat or that pound of flesh to do what needs to be done in order to get the big results and the honors. What are you doing to make that happen? All right. Now that Mars Mercury is fast, potentially aggressive communication, but communication with colleagues or superiors could be really productive at this time. It could also mean that you're like maybe allowing you to find solutions that help you really move ahead, like maybe as a group, or even if you're at the head of the group, it's like you're still moving forward. So love that. It's asking you for bold action in your partnerships, your relationship, while thinking about like bringing harmony to your career and your daily experience. All right, so all good stuff. Now, for this, you've got the King of Swords, the Ace of Swords. Okay, wow. So you've got your expertise with a contract or a commitment that leads to good money, wealth, or new resources. Ten of Pentacles is also about your legacy. So over the course of this month, there's likely to be something that you're working on that leaves a big footprint in some way, shape or form. Maybe even in a way that helps you feel proud, excuse me, of what you've achieved. The other thing with your Ace of Swords, it's a fresh start. This could be new jobs, new work. It could potentially even be new partnerships that come in, like new collaborations. It may even be work that you do on the home, or where you're seeing an expert who works on or with homes, right? Maybe you're looking to do a loft conversion, or maybe you're looking to do landscaping of your garden, or do you know what I mean? Like there's loads of ways that this could show up. I'm just mentioning the ones that really sort of speak prominently to me. Okay, so on the 12th of the month, you've got a full moon in the sign of Leo, which for you represents your 11th house. And it's also setting up a T-square with Uranus in the sign of Taurus in your 8th house. So there's an interesting energy here because the 11th house is gains from your business or your career. The 8th house is your other, shared resources, joint finances. It's highlighting your social connections, maybe the aspirations that you've got for the future. Uranus in the 8th house is unexpected developments that are bringing sort of or highlighting at least any shared resources that really need to be addressed, right? Because the moon is your needs and the sun is your obligations. So it's like things that you want for yourself versus what's available because of what you've got to do, or your time constraints are really being highlighted here. Now for this, you've got the Knight of Swords with the Empress, okay, and the Seven of Wands. The theme of this reading so far we're not supposed to be doing that one, Raf. We're supposed to be doing this. Alright, so you've got the Gate 52 and Stillness for the full moon. And so this is a message to be present, right? To really take a moment to be present at the time of this full moon so that you can understand like what it is that you're tied to. The energy might feel disruptive, but it really does hold the potential for a breakthrough. So really using this full moon to think about what connections and goals really align with the values that you've got, and then let go of the ones that really aren't sort of feeding into that in any way. And then for the new moon on the 28th, in the sign of Pisces in your 6th house, you've got the Gate 34 and Power. And the message behind this card is it's about understanding what your unique power is. What is your unique superpower? What do you do in a way that nobody else can do it? What do you have about you where you can claim your personal power, or maybe need to, right? And so because this is in the 6th house and it's square to its ruler Jupiter in your 9th house, this could be where you say, no, you know what, I have to take time out. I'm not going to be able to do all of the dishes and all of the house cleaning. Like if you're partnered, this is, by the way. If you're single, you don't have a choice. It is what it is. Right, he says. But if you're partnered, this could be where you're saying, right, you know what, I can't do all of it anymore. I'm going to have to take this time out so that I can dedicate myself to learning more of this, or, you know, putting this together, or creating that, or studying to get my exams done, whatever the case might be. There is a sense here that you're really starting to see, what's the word? You know, starting to see that things are, what's the word? Like moving forward in some way. You know, but it's really about claiming your personal power in some regard. I also wanted to remind you that my tarot course is going live very soon. You'll be hearing all about it on my socials, on the YouTube community tab, so make sure you check that out. It's 12 weeks spent with me. Every week we'll have a different lesson, lecture, and then on top of that you get 2 live Q&As. You get more PDFs than you can shake a stick at. As if that wasn't enough, you will also get live client practice and demos. All right, so you get basically everything that you need. If you want to be a part of that, stay tuned, because you're going to be seeing it all over my socials. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of the good stuff. Take care, and I'll see you soon.